The cold darkness of space stretched endlessly around the alien warship. Stars sparkled like tiny fires, but inside the ship, there was no warmth, no light, only the quiet hum of massive engines. The commanders of the fleet gathered around a glowing table, their faces tense with excitement and pride. Humanity was weak, they believed, scattered and unprepared. Soon, they would strike, and Earth would fall before them. "Everything is ready," one of the commanders said, his voice low and sharp. "Our fleets are in position. Earth will be ours in 2 rotations." Another commander nodded, his eyes scanning the digital map. "Their defenses are primitive. They will not even see us coming until it is too late." As they spoke, the ship sensors picked up a strange signal. A quiet, almost soft noise, but it was unmistakable. It was coming from nowhere and everywhere at once. The room fell silent. Every alien present felt a cold shiver, though none would admit it. "What is that?" the youngest commander asked. Before anyone could answer, the signal grew stronger. A holographic figure appeared in the center of the table, flickering with pale blue light. Its shape was unfamiliar, strange, and unlike anything the aliens had seen before. The figure raised what could be called hands, and a voice echoed in their minds rather than in the air. "Do not strike," the voice said. "To attack this planet is to bring destruction upon yourselves." The commanders froze. No one spoke. The message repeated, more urgent this time. Images flashed across the holographic display. Ships burning, planets shattered, entire fleets destroyed. It was a warning, but not just a warning. It was a promise of something far worse than the aliens had imagined. "This is impossible," one commander muttered. "Who is sending this? Where is it coming from?" The figure remained silent, only the images shifting, showing destruction that seemed impossible. The aliens tried to analyze it, but their systems could not identify the source. Fear, sharp and sudden, began to creep into their minds. They had never felt fear like this before. Meanwhile, far below, on Earth, humans went about their ordinary lives. Cities buzzed with activity. Children laughed in playgrounds, and adults rushed from one place to another. They had no idea that above them, a fleet capable of ending their entire species hovered silently, preparing to strike. Back on the alien ship, debates erupted among the commanders. "We cannot wait," one insisted. "We cannot let this delay destroy our plans. Humanity is weak, remember." Another shook his head, his claws trembling. "You saw the warning. Do you think this is a trick? Or worse, a trap?" The youngest commander, who had remained silent, spoke finally. "I have seen nothing like this before. The message, it shows the future if we attack. I cannot ignore it." The others turned to him, anger and disbelief flashing across their faces. "You hesitate now?" a senior commander growled. "We are the strongest species in this sector. Nothing can stop us." But the images on the holographic table did not lie. Ships exploded, entire battle formations disintegrated, and not a single human was shown defeated. Humanity, it seemed, had powers the aliens had not understood. As they argued, a small human probe, unnoticed and unarmed, passed near the alien ship. Its sensors recorded the aliens' positions and movements, sending them back to Earth. The humans were beginning to notice signs of the approaching fleet, though they had no idea what was coming. The alien commanders, finally, began to feel something unfamiliar. Fear. A creeping sense of danger they could not calculate. They had prepared for every possible scenario, but this was different. The warning had shown them a future where they could lose everything. A tense silence filled the control room. The youngest commander whispered, "Maybe we should wait. Maybe we should listen." The senior commander's eyes narrowed. "Listen? To a species we do not know? Do you think they could threaten us?" The holographic figure shifted, showing one last image. Earth shining bright against the darkness of space, with human fleets forming around it, ready to defend their planet. It was a simple message but clear. Strike, and humanity will not fall. The alien commanders stared at the table, their pride and arrogance clashing with fear. No one moved. No one spoke. The engines of their ships hummed, ready for action, yet they did nothing. The warning had stopped them cold. Somewhere deep in space, the unknown entity that had sent the warning remained silent, watching, waiting. And on Earth, humans continued their lives, unaware of the silent threat that had just been halted, unsure of the storm that might yet come. The alien fleet lingered in orbit, frozen in doubt, while fear spread like a cold wind through their ranks. They had planned to destroy humanity, to claim Earth as theirs. But now, a chilling warning had forced them to pause. The game had changed, and for the first time, the aliens were not certain of victory. The future was uncertain. The humans, small and fragile as they seemed, were no longer a target to be taken lightly. The aliens knew one thing with terrifying clarity. If they attacked, they might not survive. And with that thought, the silence of space grew heavier, thick with tension, as the commanders struggled with a fear they had never known before. On Earth, life went on as usual. Cities buzzed with activity. Cars honked, people walked quickly to their jobs, and children played in parks without a care. The sky was calm, and no one suspected the shadow that lingered far above, silent and waiting. Humans were unaware that a massive alien fleet hovered near their planet, ready to strike, yet frozen by a warning they could not see. In a small research station on the outskirts of a city, scientists stared at strange readings on their screens. Energy spikes, unusual signals from space, patterns they could not explain. "This is strange," said Dr. Elena, a senior scientist. "I've never seen anything like it. The signals, they almost seem intelligent." Her assistant shook his head, puzzled. "Intelligent? From space? Are you suggesting someone, or something, is trying to communicate?" Elena frowned, her eyes scanning the data. "I don't know, but it's unlike any natural phenomenon. Whatever it is, it's close. Very close." Meanwhile, in another part of the city, people were noticing small oddities too. Streetlights flickered briefly, unexplained power surges hit a few neighborhoods, and satellites began acting strangely. Ordinary citizens ignored it, thinking it was just technical problems. But some, like amateur astronomer Tom, noticed something unusual in the night sky. A faint shimmer, a strange movement among the stars, almost like something watching them. Back in the research station, Elena's team tried to decode the signals. Computers worked endlessly, analyzing the strange patterns, but nothing made sense. The signals were fragmented, almost like pieces of a puzzle that refused to fit together. Yet, despite the confusion, a feeling of urgency filled the room. Something was coming. Something that could change everything. High above, the alien fleet hovered silently, watching Earth. The commanders argued again, voices low and tense. "Are we truly going to wait?" one demanded. "This species, could it really be dangerous?" Another commander shook his head. The warning was clear. "Strike and we risk everything. Humanity, they are not as weak as we thought." In space, unseen by both humans and the alien fleet, tiny probes floated near the edges of the solar system. They moved silently, gathering information about both species. The humans' defenses were unknown, but the probe sent data back to a distant observer, the same one who had sent the chilling warning. On Earth, as night fell, lights twinkled across cities, unaware of the tension building in orbit. Elena stayed late in the lab, staring at the signals. Her mind raced with possibilities. Could it be life beyond Earth? Could it be a message from another civilization? She didn't know, but a strange feeling told her something big was about to happen. Suddenly, a new part of the signal appeared, clearer this time. Symbols she could almost recognize, repeating patterns that seemed intentional. She called her team closer. "Look at this," she said. "It's trying to tell us something. I don't know what yet, but it's important." Her assistant leaned in, his voice low. Could it be a warning? Elena hesitated. Perhaps. But from who? And why? Whoever sent this knows we are here. And that thought, it's unsettling. Outside the lab, the wind rustled the trees, carrying no hint of the danger waiting in the stars. Yet, the humans were slowly awakening to the presence of something far greater than themselves. Small signs, subtle hints, all pointing toward a storm they could not yet see. Far above, the alien fleet remained frozen, their engines humming quietly. The warning had shaken their confidence. Commands were whispered in fear, strategies debated in whispers. One thing was certain, they no longer underestimated humanity. And somewhere, Hidden in the shadows of space, the mysterious entity that had warned the aliens continued to watch, waiting for the moment when humans would truly know they were not alone. As night deepened on Earth, stars shone silently above, peaceful yet deceptive. Below them, life continued as usual, ordinary and fragile. But the currents of the universe were shifting. Soon, humans would face the first ripple of a challenge that had already stopped their enemies in their tracks. The suspense grew like a silent drumbeat, slowly increasing, drawing closer to the moment when ordinary humans would step unknowingly into the center of a story far larger than themselves. The first signs were small, subtle, almost invisible, but the universe had begun its quiet countdown. The aliens hesitated, and humanity, blissfully unaware, edged closer to a confrontation that could change everything. High above Earth, the alien commanders gathered again. The mysterious warning had unsettled them deeply. Ships that were once brimming with confidence now moved slowly, cautiously, as if the silence of space itself had grown heavier. No one spoke first. They all stared at the holographic table, remembering the images of their fleets destroyed, their plans shattered, if they attacked humanity. "We cannot ignore it," the youngest commander said finally, his voice trembling. "The warning. It shows a possible future. If we strike, we may lose everything." A senior commander's eyes narrowed, sharp with anger and disbelief. "Humanity is weak. They are primitive. We are the strongest species in this sector. How could they possibly defeat us?" The youngest commander gestured to the images still floating in the hologram. "Look at what it shows. Entire fleets gone. Planets destroyed. Not a single human casualty. Something is protecting them. Something we cannot see or understand." For the first time, the alien leaders felt uncertainty, a sensation they had never experienced. Doubt crept into their minds like a shadow. What could humanity have that they did not know about? How could a seemingly weak species survive against their full might? Far below, on Earth, humans continued their lives, unaware of the tension above. Scientists like Dr. Elena and her team were still puzzling over the strange signals. The patterns were changing now, forming shapes that suggested intelligence, strategy, even warning. "It's like someone is guiding us," Elena said quietly, her eyes wide with realization. "They know something is coming. They want us ready." Her assistant frowned. "Are you saying someone out there is helping us? Protecting us?" Elena shook her head slowly. "I don't know. But whatever it is, it's powerful. And it is watching both us and them." Back in space, the alien commanders debated furiously. Some argued for retreat, for caution, for waiting until they understood the warning. Others, proud and stubborn, insisted on continuing the attack. "We cannot let fear stop us," one growled. "We are meant to rule, not to be threatened by a planet of small creatures." Yet the images continued to haunt them. Ships that should have been invincible had been destroyed, as if some unseen force had struck. The alien fleet's confidence began to crumble. They had planned every attack, calculated every possibility, but they had not planned for this, a species they underestimated, and a warning they could not ignore. Meanwhile, human satellites and space telescopes began detecting strange movements near the edges of the solar system. The data showed fleets, but also anomalies that did not match any known alien technology. "This is unusual," Elena said, scanning the new readings. "Something out there is stronger than we can understand, but it's protecting us in some way." On the alien ships, panic was rising. Commanders whispered in fear, some even questioning the wisdom of their orders. One of the most senior commanders spoke quietly, almost to himself. "What do they have that we do not? How can a species so small survive against us?" Another commander shook his head. "I do not know. But the warning, it is real. And if we ignore it, we will lose everything. We must be careful." The youngest commander looked out at the vastness of space, feeling a strange mixture of fear and awe. "Humanity. They are stronger than we thought. They may even be our equal in ways we cannot measure." Far from both fleets, the mysterious entity that had sent the warning observed quietly. It had revealed just enough to halt the alien attack, but not enough to show the humans everything. Its motives were unknown, and its power undeniable. The aliens had been warned. Humans had been nudged. The stage was set for a confrontation that neither side fully understood. Back on Earth, night fell over the cities. Ordinary people looked up at the stars, unaware of the silent forces moving above them. Elena and her team continued their research, following the signals, trying to decode their meaning. Little did they know, these signals were the first threads in a web that would connect humans, aliens, and something far greater than either species. In the alien warships, doubt and fear replaced arrogance and certainty. Commands were hesitant, and fleets moved cautiously, unsure whether they should advance or retreat. They had underestimated humanity, and the warning had reminded them that the galaxy could be more dangerous than they imagined. And somewhere, silently, the unknown watcher waited, watching humans prepare, watching aliens hesitate, watching the future unfold. The first pieces of a conflict had been set into motion, and the universe seemed to hold its breath, waiting to see what would happen next. The tension stretched across space like a thin thread, fragile but unbroken. One wrong move, and it could snap, sending both species into chaos. And yet, for now, there was silence. A fragile pause, full of suspense, as humans unknowingly edged closer to a truth that would change everything. The alien fleet moved closer to Earth, slowly but deliberately. Their massive ships cut through the darkness of space, silent and ominous. Inside the command room, tension was thick. The warning they had received still haunted them, but pride and duty pushed them forward. They could not stop entirely, yet every step felt uncertain. On Earth, humans were beginning to notice strange signals in the sky. Satellites recorded unidentified objects, and unusual energy surges were detected in orbit. Dr. Elena and her team worked frantically, piecing together the patterns. "They are here," she whispered, a mix of fear and determination in her voice. "Something is approaching. I don't know what it is, but it's massive." Her assistant's eyes widened. "Are we talking about the aliens? The ones we've been hearing about in the research files?" Elena nodded slowly. "Yes. And judging by what I can see, it's not a small fleet. It's huge. We need to alert the authorities." But before Earth's defenses could fully mobilize, a small portion of the alien fleet entered the planet's outer orbit. The humans saw the first signs of the enemy. Enormous ships, black and gleaming, moving like shadows against the stars. People around the world stared up at the sky in fear and awe. No one could understand what they were seeing. Back in space, the aliens observed Earth carefully. Their sensors scanned cities, military installations, and communication hubs. They expected to see panic and chaos, but what they saw surprised them. Humans were beginning to prepare in ways they had not predicted. Satellites were rerouted, defense grids activated, and energy fields pulsed with a strange, efficient rhythm. "This is unusual," the youngest commander murmured. "They are not as weak as we thought. They are responding." The senior commander's eyes narrowed. "Do not underestimate them, but continue the approach. We will see if they can truly resist." Suddenly, a small human defense ship, part of an experimental program, fired a test energy pulse at one of the alien scout ships. The shot was precise, minimal in power, but it hit its target and caused a small explosion. The aliens froze, shocked by the accuracy and bravery of the humans. "Impossible," one commander hissed. "They have weapons we did not detect. They are ready for us." On Earth, news of the unexplained explosions spread quickly. People panicked, but military leaders remained calm, working to understand the threat. Dr. Elena and her team realized that the humans' hidden strength, the technology, the coordination, the intelligence, was their greatest advantage. They had underestimated it, but now it was clear, humanity was not defenseless. As the alien fleet hesitated, the first small battles began. Scout ships engaged human defense systems, only to be met with unexpected resistance. Explosions lit up space like fireworks, showing that humanity had been quietly preparing for this day. Each encounter revealed skill, strategy, and courage that the aliens had never expected. The senior commander slammed his clawed hand against the table. "Why are they fighting so effectively? They are supposed to be weak, primitive. How is this possible?" The youngest commander looked at him, fear and realization in his eyes. The warning was right. We cannot win easily. Humanity. They are more powerful than we imagined. As the battles continued, Earth's defenses adapted quickly. Energy shields absorbed attacks, Automated drones countered the alien maneuvers, and human pilots executed strategies that were clever and unpredictable. The aliens' arrogance began to crumble, replaced by caution and confusion. In the shadows of space, the mysterious entity that had warned the aliens watched silently. The humans were showing their strength, just as the warning had promised. The aliens hesitated, unsure of their next move, as humanity proved that they were not a species to be easily defeated. The tension stretched across the battlefield like a live wire. Every move counted, every decision mattered. The first encounters had shown that humans could fight back, and that the war would not be as simple as the aliens had planned. Above Earth, the stars watched silently, indifferent to the fear, the courage, and the determination below. The battle had begun, but the outcome was far from certain. Humans had taken the first steps toward survival, and the aliens were forced to reckon with a species they had underestimated. In the command room of the alien fleet, no one spoke. Every eye was on the screens showing the humans' counterattacks. For the first time, the invaders felt true hesitation, a fear they had never known. And somewhere in space, the Watcher smiled quietly, knowing that humanity's strength had just begun to reveal itself. The alien commanders gathered again, their faces dark with tension. The first encounters had shaken them more than they would admit. Ships that were supposed to crush humanity easily had been damaged, some destroyed. The humans had fought back with skill, speed, and cleverness that the aliens had not predicted. Pride and fear battled within their ranks. "We must strike harder," one senior commander growled. "We cannot allow these humans to survive. They are still small, weak. We are stronger. We will win." Another commander shook his head. "We underestimated them. Our scouts report more energy shields, more ships ready for battle. They are organized, intelligent, and coordinated. This is not what we expected." Meanwhile on Earth, humanity worked quickly and quietly. Dr. Elena and her team were analyzing alien movements, predicting their next strikes. Military leaders coordinated fleets, satellite defenses, and ground installations, preparing for the main assault. Humans had learned from the first encounters and were ready to adapt. The alien fleet moved again, advancing toward the human defense lines. The tension in space was electric. Each side watched the other carefully, every movement measured, every action calculated. Humans launched small counterattacks, testing alien reactions. Their technology, though less advanced in appearance, worked perfectly with strategy, showing that humans were more clever than brute strength alone could measure. Inside the alien command room, fear grew. The youngest commander whispered, "They are not just fighting back. They are learning. Each time we attack, they adjust. They adapt faster than we imagined." A senior commander slammed his clawed hand on the table. "Impossible! They are supposed to be weak. How can such small creatures fight like this?" Above Earth, the human strategy began to show results. Alien ships were forced to retreat temporarily, damaged and confused by unexpected maneuvers. Humanity's hidden strength, their unity, intelligence, and resourcefulness, was becoming clear. The alien commanders argued. Some wanted to retreat entirely, to regroup and rethink their plan. Others, proud and arrogant, insisted on pressing forward. "We cannot show weakness," one shouted. "We are the dominant species. We will not fall to these humans." But even as they spoke, tension spread through the fleet. Pilots hesitated, unsure of the humans' next move. The warning they had received earlier lingered in their minds, a constant reminder that attacking Earth might not end well. On Earth, Dr. Elena noticed the aliens' hesitation. "They are unsure," she said. "They expected us to panic, to fall easily. But we are ready. They did not account for our intelligence, our coordination, or our courage." Her assistant nodded. "They think they are powerful, but they are wrong. We have strength they cannot see." The alien fleet, now deep in orbit, hesitated again. Their pride battled with the fear growing in their minds. Every decision was now weighed against the possibility of disaster. Humanity's strength, once invisible, was now undeniable. In space, the mysterious entity that had sent the warning watched silently. Humanity was proving the truth of the warning. They were clever, adaptive, and brave. The aliens could no longer underestimate them. Every battle, every defensive move by humans, tightened the grip of suspense across the galaxy. As night fell on Earth, cities glimmered peacefully, hiding the tension above. Humans prepared silently, unaware that the aliens were reconsidering their plans. Above them, massive ships waited, engines humming, commanders anxious. For the first time, the aliens knew fear. The battle was escalating, and the future remained uncertain. One misstep, one wrong calculation, and the aliens could face devastating losses. Humans, small but resilient, were proving that they were not just survivors, they were fighters. The tension stretched across space like a taut wire. Both sides waited, ready, watching, calculating. The alien threat had intensified, but humanity's courage and strategy had grown stronger. The galaxy held its breath, waiting to see what would happen next, as the war for survival entered a new, more dangerous phase. The alien fleet hovered over Earth, engines humming like distant thunder. Every commander aboard felt the weight of the warning and the reality of human resistance. Pride and fear clashed inside them. They had expected an easy victory, but humans had proven stronger than anyone in the fleet had imagined. On Earth, Dr. Elena and her team worked tirelessly. Satellites monitored alien movements, defense grids hummed with power, and fleets of human ships prepared silently in orbit. Ordinary citizens went about their lives, unaware of the massive battle about to unfold above them. But humanity was ready, united, and determined. The first full-scale engagement began without warning. Alien ships advanced aggressively, aiming to break through the human defenses quickly. But the humans anticipated their approach. Energy shields flared, interceptors launched, and automated drones intercepted alien scouts before they could report back. Explosions lit up space as alien ships were damaged by unexpected maneuvers. Humans fought strategically, using every advantage they had. Their coordination surprised the aliens. Every move was calculated, every response quick, and every attack precise. The youngest alien commander whispered to himself, fear in his voice. They are adapting faster than we can predict. They are learning from every encounter. The senior commander growled. This cannot continue. They are just humans. They are weak. Yet every attack we launch is met with resistance we did not expect. On Earth, Dr. Elena watched the battle unfold on screens, heart pounding. They are holding their own, she said softly. They are smarter, braver, and stronger than we ever imagined. They may survive this. They may even win. Human pilots coordinated perfectly. Some drew alien ships into traps, while others attacked from angles the aliens had not calculated. The aliens' pride began to crumble. They had assumed humans would panic, would fall easily, but that assumption was now shattered. Amidst the chaos, one alien admiral whispered to a subordinate, a shadow of fear in his tone. We underestimated them. We must reconsider our plans, or we risk everything. Explosions erupted around Earth as alien ships tried to regroup. Humans used every technology and strategy at their disposal. Shields absorbed blasts, drones countered attacks, and fleets moved in perfect synchronization. The aliens were forced to retreat and rethink their approach. The mysterious entity that had sent the warning watched silently from afar. Humanity was proving its strength. Just as predicted. The aliens hesitated, their confidence shaken, as humans revealed the full power of their intelligence, courage, and unity. In the alien command room, tension was unbearable. Commands were slow, pilots hesitated, and no one knew the best course of action. The humans had forced them into uncertainty, fear, and chaos. What they had thought would be an easy conquest was turning into a fight they might not survive. As night fell on Earth, cities sparkled under the stars, hiding the preparation and courage of humans above them. The first waves of the main battle had shown the aliens that humans were not a species to underestimate. Every hit, every maneuver, every strategy had made one thing clear. Humanity would fight, and humanity could win. The tension in space was palpable. Every side waited, calculating, planning, ready for the next move. The humans had fought back with strength, skill, and courage that surprised their enemies. The aliens had learned a difficult lesson. The galaxy's smallest species might also be its most dangerous when pushed. The first major battle had begun, and humanity had not only survived, it had struck back. The galaxy watched silently as the war stretched into a new, more dangerous phase, one where the balance of power was no longer certain, and where humans were proving themselves worthy of the universe's attention. The battle raged across space, but slowly, the tide began to turn. Humanity's strategy, courage, and adaptability were overwhelming the alien fleet. Each attack by the aliens was met with clever counterattacks, precise maneuvers, and unexpected defenses. The fleet that had once been confident, proud, and arrogant now reeled under the human strength. On Earth, Dr. Elena and her team watched the progress on their screens, hardly daring to breathe. "They're pushing them back," she whispered, a mix of relief and awe in her voice. "They didn't just survive. They are winning." The aliens, once certain of victory, were now retreating in disorder. Some ships were damaged beyond repair, while others fled in fear. The senior commanders shouted orders, but chaos had spread through their ranks. Doubt had replaced confidence. Pride had turned to fear. The youngest alien commander stared at the screens, unable to hide the terror in his eyes. This cannot be," he murmured. "Humans. They are stronger than we imagined." Above Earth, human fleets continued their advance, protecting the planet and securing their positions in orbit. The energy shields glowed brightly, interceptors struck with precision, and the aliens found themselves blocked at every turn. Humanity had proven that intelligence, coordination, and courage were far more powerful than the aliens had expected. On Earth, ordinary citizens watched the skies, unaware of the full scale of the battle. Yet the effects were visible. Satellites flickered, auroras shimmered in unusual patterns, and for the first time, humans understood that they were part of something much bigger than themselves. The alien commanders, facing destruction and humiliation, had no choice but to retreat. "Fall back! Regroup!" the senior commander shouted. "We cannot fight this species any longer. We underestimated them, and we cannot afford to lose everything." As the alien fleet withdrew, the humans did not celebrate loudly. They remained vigilant, knowing that the galaxy was full of threats and that this was only the beginning. But there was a quiet pride in their hearts. They had faced a superior force and survived. They had defended their home and proved themselves stronger than anyone had believed. In the quiet of space, the mysterious entity that had sent the warning watched silently. Humanity had passed the first test. They had shown courage, strategy, and resilience. The aliens had learned a lesson they would never forget. Humans were not weak. Humans were fighters. On Earth, Dr. Elena finally allowed herself a small smile. "They survived, and they did it together," she said softly. Her assistant nodded. "This is just the beginning, but today we proved that humanity is not to be underestimated." The stars above twinkled silently, as if acknowledging the courage below. Humanity had faced the galaxy's shadow and had not faltered. For the first time, they were seen as equals, as a species capable of holding its own among the stars. The aliens had retreated, but the memory of human strength lingered in their minds. They had come to conquer, but they had been stopped cold. Humanity had survived, not by luck, but by intelligence, unity, and courage. The universe had changed, and humans were ready for whatever came next. As Earth turned beneath the glowing skies, life continued, ordinary and extraordinary at the same time. Humanity had proven its worth, not just to the aliens, but to itself. The first chapter of this galactic struggle had ended, and the future, though uncertain, was bright with possibility. For the first time in the galaxy, humans were no longer just a species to be conquered. They were fighters, survivors, the ones who could stand against the darkness and win. And the universe had taken notice.